just a good story. He said to move on and keep going. Imagine. We had one more life, one more shot at sunrise. Erase everything, start with new eyes. Don't break the same tragic goodbyes. What if this one way? Kept your coffee cup on my nightstand. Not to reminisce, just a reminder to never go back to a life we shared. Anytime I'm feeling the urge to look at a picture, oh, I get so confused. 'Cause I swear I am so over you. My mommy told me that we shouldn't worry. Daddy told me just a good story. He said to move on and keep going. Imagine. We had one more life, one more shot at sunrise. Erase everything, start with new eyes. Don't break the same tragic goodbyes. What if this one way?
One, two, coming off the top, y'all know how we do. Listen, I'ma drop a freestyle you can cherish. I'ma send a shout out to the host named Eric. Yo, he's never on some average shit. You know Eric, he stays loud and passionate. I'm about to break it down for y'all with the clever song. Yo, shout the host named Thomas, cause he's never wrong. Yo, shout to John, you know that he's smart and quiet, unlike my freestyles, which cause a riot. I'm about to do it like this, cause the people love me. Shouts out to PHP the Ugly. It's called ugly cause it's not professional, but I'm about to come through and bless it with style. So let's do it when I'm spitting, I perfume the room. Yo, the segment of the show is called Doom and Gloom. That came from Thomas. Yeah, can nobody go beyond this? I get the mic and then I'm about to keep it like a promise. Yeah, and y'all know we fill them up with anguish. We talking about the PHP, the programming language. About to break it down, no exaggeration. What do y'all do for a living? Web applications. Okay, I can dig it. My words spray tight. They getting together on the Thursday nights. Yeah, when it comes to rhyming, you can call me the new dude. I spew true lyrics while y'all broadcast on YouTube. So let's get it. You know my lyrics are major. All up in the comments, they got plenty of haters, but they doing what they doing. Keep it ugly. We ending every show with the saying it's lovely. Let's go. Hey, shout out to y'all. Peace to the whole squad, man. Hope your channel is doing real well on YouTube. Hope you guys are having fun. And it was an honor and blessing to do this little custom freestyle for y'all. Hope you enjoy. Stay up. Yeah. Come on. Hey.
September 23rd, 2023. This is episode 353 of the PHPUgly podcast, a podcast that focuses on PHP, programming with PHP, and the PHP community. Podcast made a little extra special thanks to a few sponsors, honeybadger.io, PHPStorm, and PHP Architect, as well as some wonderful supporters on Patreon. And we're going to talk about all of them a little later in the show. For now, we're going to kick things off with my co-host. Oh, I'm Eric, by the way. Hello. Happy to meet you. And with me is John Congdon.
You're trying so hard to be so calm in the opening.
Tom right out.
Oh, I was calm till 5.
Till Discord, Tom? Till Discord?
Till Discord decided to just drop a dump on me.
What Discord is that, Tom?
Discord.phpugly.com. It's a free invite. You're welcome to join us. If you are a patron on Patreon, you get access to The Herd.
The
a
Herd.
Special channel for insiders only.
We had a lot of fun in Discord this past week. But you can also participate in the show live. If you're watching the show, you can kind of see the Discord post coming in on the left-hand side or right-hand side? Right-hand side of your screen. I assume it's the same as ours. I don't honestly know. But and you can suggest titles. You'll see people in there suggesting titles, and they hang out all week long. And like I said, there's a lot of insider stuff that goes on in Discord throughout the week.
Yeah. Did you just put your hand up to figure out your left from your right?
Well, I was seeing. So this is my right, but my image is but this is on my right. So okay, this is my right, but it's over here. But wait, how's it over here if this is my right?
You know how
I'm all messed up, man. I'm all messed up.
By default, video social media has the image mirrored so that people who aren't dyslexic can manage it. And Eric, as a dyslexic, is so used to that he got double dyslexic and forgot which hand was the left hand.
No, I know it is. This is the right hand. I know this. You gotta be careful. You gotta be careful how you put that up. This is my right hand. This is what was messing with me because the thing. Never mind. Never mind. Tom, what's Discord done to upset you?
You literally know I can't say.
Curious. Oh, okay. Well, I guess if you were in Discord, you could probably figure it out. But we will move on. We will move on.
Are you asking for that to be removed?
No.
I mean,
I have to remove
it. Could have been.
Comment.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll leave it. Your kid has a point. We need to take an improv class.
4 hours of compliance training today.
Why?
4 hours.
Why make it better? What, Tom? We're trying to have a conversation. Did you want to say something?
I did 4 hours of compliance training today. And
compliance with what?
The first thing that Oscar drops in what, 2 months?
It's like, yeah, he's like not even in there. and then he just flies in and just like bonk.
Drops in, personal attack, pieces out.
Yeah, I think he's already gone to bed.
Yeah, pretty much.
Are we sure he's not the Tron Gate guy?
Oh my God, you said the words. Why did you say the words?
You knew it was going to happen this week.
You know,
That-
all sorts of little Google alerts are going off right now.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Are we talking about this?
Of course we are.
I am going to tell you what
You
Eric did this week.
you went on live stream for 2 hours for crying out loud.
2 hours.
No, I didn't. It
45
wasn't a live
minutes.
stream.
It was a live stream.
It was not a live stream.
2 hours, 45 minutes.
That wasn't a live stream?
Dude, I edited that video down.
That's
You don't. I'm not proud how long I stayed and watched that video. It's just that's what I was talking
The fuck you spent that amount of time?
okay. We got to go one person at a time here. And it's me because I'm the host. We have had an on and off relationship with David Connolly. And it recently,
when was it on?
when you tried to, John tried to talk directly with him. It was
It's true.
declined, honorably declined.
He offered to
Whatever.
come to stream live with the guy and everything. I
Yeah.
gotta hand it to
So it
him.
was an honorable, outstanding move. However, there was a recent post by the guy who does the Tron Gate framework. If you don't know about it, good on you. And we could not figure out if he was talking about us or somebody else. Because apparently the guy gets roasted so regularly online that it could be anybody.
Right.
I think in this
And-
case it was somebody else.
It was
It
somebody
was.
else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it kept he kept saying little things that just made me go, but is it? It's like I'm
So-
pretty sure that's word for word what I said. So
Yeah. And to be fair, I've never watched the guy. I haven't watched the guy since leading up to my little reaction video. But like everybody was talking about it in Discord, and I'm like, all right, maybe I need to give this guy a watch and like see, like really kind of understand his position.
the other side note here is that we've all been watching way too much of the Primogen.
The Primogen's reacts videos.
So
Yeah.
and
for
so
sure.
I think we all got in that same headspace where we're like, oh, I could be programmer famous. It's
No, so
content.
in my defense, I initially was only going to post it in Discord, but like you said, the video itself was over 2 hours long. I'm like, yeah, I can't upload that to Discord, so I posted it unlisted on YouTube. So it's not listed on
So
YouTube. You can't.
recorded this with like an on desktop recording tool. You
Yeah,
had
I use Restream.
okay.
Yeah, I use Restream. And I posted the link not even to our main Discord channel. So if you don't know what channel to go to, you're gonna be hard pressed, I think, to find it because a lot of conversations have happened since then. It wasn't to the Herd channel, which I also thought about doing, but didn't think that would be fair.
I'll
I
stick
think-
to the other channels.
I think it only has like 15 watches, so it clearly didn't leak out or anything. I don't care if it does at this point. I'm not.
Well, it's really long, and when a video is that length,
That's it.
They count watches by like halfway through or something like that. I mean, I did not finish your reaction video. I got 2 hours into it though, like
Wow.
solid 2 hours and 15 minutes into it, because I didn't want to watch his video because it was boring without someone pausing it every 10 seconds and going, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, and I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, it's kind of concerning to watch. The only thing I didn't add to the video that was a thought I had hindsight was his constant mentioning of how challenging it was for him to find work. And he kind of built up this.
That's because he's terrible.
No, but
he kind of built up this conspiracy of it's all this
terrible.
it's all this negative press. So when people go to look me up, they see this negative press. And then I thought about it. I'm like, if you came to me looking for a PHP job and basically slammed all the current practices, patterns, composer, and said all that was shit and yours was better, I would not hire you either. I mean, it was just like you're finding a hard time getting a job, but these are all your positions on the current.
When you're anti best practices of the current community, you're not going to find a lot of work.
That though, see, he comes out and says in his YouTube videos, which if you look up his name, are the first thing to show up after dead sports stars. He's got a video about Laravel stealing from him.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, Laravel, an open source project, stealing from his open source project. And he's got an hour-long rant about it, and it's unhinged. And all of the videos he does are somewhat unhinged. And at some point, he goes into how Symfony is a woke company, and that's what's guiding it down the wrong path. And that's where it gets really, sad. Yeah. So if you dig into his Twitter stuff, he has this whole conspiracy theory that Symfony is woke, and the proof for that is that the last Symfony conference was at Disney World.
Oh, was it?
So they had a Symfony, or maybe it was a company retreat or something. But he has this huge thing about, hey, you don't think they're woke? They went to Disney World. And drops the mic, and I'm like, no, pick the mic back up. You're not done. You have not made a position clear. The happiest place on earth, understandable. I would like a company to take me to the happiest place on earth. That would be fun.
Except you wouldn't go.
But the woke, I don't know. Disney World, I might go. Their resorts are pretty amazing. Anyways, he's got these dog whistles in his stuff where you start going that keeps coming up too much.
Yeah.
They are stealing our jobs. I'm like, you're in Scotland. You're in a small part of Scotland.
He's right outside Glasgow.
Yeah, they're not stealing your jobs. You're presenting yourself very poorly for any modern company.
Yeah.
If
you've been listening to us this long and you don't know the history, let me just give you a brief synopsis of what happened in our past. Tom, again, leading up to it, I don't think myself or John, it ever crossed our radar. Tom, we're blaming Tom. It's all Tom's fault because I don't think that was clear the first time. It
really was. Actually, I'll take
he had a Trello card about this Tron gate and proceeded to talk about what he got out of it, what he saw and his thoughts and opinions of it. I thought they were reasonable. He was like, oh yeah, there's some red flags here. He doesn't like Composer.
Mostly not my opinions. Mostly opinions on Reddit that I was just reading aloud and saying this is a good reflection on the community or not. But the thing is so much of what he says throws up these red flags. And the thing about red flags is you really wish you had something that could catch these red flags.
He wasn't watching chat. Thanks to our friends at honeybadger.io for sponsoring this podcast. Monitoring, like web development, can be complicated. There are tons of tools and techniques, but you just want to know that your app is up and that your customers are happy. When your customers encounter a problem, you need clear, actionable intelligence, not walls of charts and reams of logs to tail. That's why they built Honeybadger, the monitoring tool we always wanted. A tool that's there when you need it and gets out of your way when you don't. so that you can keep shipping code, know when critical errors occur, and which customers are affected. Respond instantly when your systems go down. Improve the health of your systems over time and fix problems before your customers can report them. Honeybadger is the application health monitoring tool built for you, the developer who cares about a quality product and happy customers. Be the hero of your team and sign up for a free trial and start monitoring today at honeybadger.io. Setup takes as little as 5 minutes. See what you've been missing and fix it. Once again, that's www.honeybadger.io. Thank you, Honey Badger. I really got to re-record that because I cannot say code in that thing right every time. It kills me.
So anyways, to kind of finish wrapping this up, because I was hoping to get there before the sponsor, but somebody kept saying the key word and we had
doing his job.
So Tom talked about it and that was it. Like, I didn't think anything about it. And he made this reaction video to us that was just all sorts of evil.
Threatening to sue us.
Made this huge blog post about his plans to sue us. And I'm like, whatever.
It was the first thing you saw if you went on the Tron Gate website for a while, was a video of
that's
us
right.
criticizing Tron Gate.
I forgot about that. So I lied to you guys, though. I said I hadn't thought of him or talked about him since. That's not completely true. And I don't know if I told you, John. No, I don't know if I told John about this. Somebody let me know. I guess he discovered that we took over operations at PHP Architect and that we were holding PHP Tech Conference. And he flat out said, I hope it's a failure. They don't deserve
I remember.
Yeah, you
I remember him saying that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I wasn't sure if we had talked about it. So this guy doesn't like us. Clearly, he knows us pretty well. So I can understand his position. But at Tech, I'm sorry, technically after Tech, I'm editing the videos, and one of the speakers brings up Tron Gate. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me here. Like, I've never heard that name whispered in public forums before. So I didn't know what to think about it. The person didn't have a lot of positive things to say about it. John, do you know who I'm talking about as far as a presenter go?
I do not.
Okay. I'll fill you in later. Only because the rant that the Tron Gate guy was talking about, the other podcast he was talking about, I went and checked it out, and it was that presenter. It was like,
really?
Wait, what?
Yeah, this. Tron Gate's really big in the podcast world. It provides a lot of material.
All right, I want to go back to Honey Badger.
Let's go back to Honey Badger.
To a point. Sort of go back to Honey Badger. Thank you, Honey Badger.
Thank you, Honey Badger.
Do you know when Honey Badger will not help you? When you use a freaking library that hides the error message.
Oh, what? With at symbols?
No, not with at symbols, but I spent a good hour today with somebody that we generate an authentication token from a third-party service. And it's working flawlessly in production. It works flawlessly on my machine. And every time she went to the development website, her local dev instance immediately got a 400 error. I'm like, what in the world is going on?
It's what, unauthorized? No,
401 is unauthorized. It's just a 400 error, just an invalid request. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, I know I can easily try catch around where we generate the token, but all that's going to do is hide it even further. All I was going to say is we don't have a token, right? But that's not going to help. And I'm like, what in the world's causing this? So I'm checking her env file for security tokens. I'm like trying to dive into this. I'm like, all right, we're going to go nuclear here. We're going into the vendor code. So I had to go to the file that was causing the issue. Print R, exit. Done. Her time in her Docker container was off by 63 seconds.
And that was messing with the token. Yeah.
What's that?
Can't do that.
I know, but the error message was hidden. It's like, no, send that back. Send the information that's causing it. Don't wrap the exception and then just throw a generic server exception is basically what it did. It was driving me nuts. And then I'm like, all right, what's the Docker command? There's got to be something like, how do I install NTP date? No, her host system didn't have automatic date time on. It's like, check this box and we're good to go.
What is, because
it's funny because when you said that, I'm like, wait a minute, I thought the Docker container got it from the host system, but now you guys.
Yeah.
I was gonna say all my 2FA stuff has been like the next password and the previous two.
So that's 2FA.
It's always like that. Yeah, 2FA like
works like that. But this isn't 2FA. This is you send a signed request to generate a bearer token, basically. But that signing was off by 63 seconds. Like the token didn't match.
It's like issued to. Wow, that's
so it was just super strict. But
not to play devil's advocate here, John, but are you implying that if she was in a different time zone, it would also be blowing up?
No, it was still UTC. Like, it
was
converting.
Okay.
It was converting to UTC fine. It was just off by that 63 seconds.
Syncing to one of my servers.
Yeah, basically. That's what I had her do, and then it got like further off.
All these pop-ups started happening. We can't really track that down. Speaking of pop-ups, Tom, you might be happy to know that I'm giving Rambox a try, and you want to make sure you have safe search on when you're looking for Rambox. And just good practice to have safe search on.
Most search results are based off of your search history, so
okay, that's good to know.
I mean, just
yeah. I'm trying Rambox. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about it. There are a couple things I like, a couple things I don't.
So for those that don't know, including me, remind us what Rambox is.
So Rambox is one of these all catching, like every web-based app you can kind of put in this one application, and then just instead of having
you told me you tried this before.
Yeah. I've tried a few versions of it. I was doing an open source version for a long time on my Pop! OS machine, but I ran into an issue that I was hoping Rambox would address because it had extensions, but it didn't. So you know what I started doing, John?
What is that?
I don't know if you'd like this or not. I started using Toggle again because I was just losing my days. And I'm like, what am I working on? Like, why can't I get stuff done? What did I work on today? And we'd come and do this podcast. And like, I'm trying to remember what I did during my week. I'm like, I don't know what I worked on, honestly. I don't remember. And I was serious. Like, I'm so working on so many different things that I can't keep track of what's chewing up my time. So I started using Toggle again.
I really want to get back into trying the Pomodoro technique because I find the same thing. Like,
isn't that just standing?
No, well, it's trying to work in a focused time box and then taking breaks, like 25 minutes on, take a 5 or 10 minute break to get up. I find that I've got so many things I'm trying to juggle that I'm throwing the balls in every direction versus juggling them well. I'm not getting any one thing done.
And I will say that I think that's one of the ways Toggle's helping me because I'm a little stubborn where I
slow down.
I have a tendency to work on multiple things at the same time, and they can be completely different clients. But with Toggle, it doesn't let you track time that way. You can only track one thing at a time. So I found myself saying, okay, I'm tracking this thing now. I got to focus on this before I start doing this other thing, because I'm going to track that time too. So I feel like it's been helping me out a little bit there. And it has helped me like go back and look when the day's over. I go back and look at my day. I'm like, all right, I see where I was spending my time today.
So I 100% appreciate that. Tom, how was your week? I've been working on testing a thing that you have to wait 15 minutes for it to start, and then 10 minutes for the event to fire, and then 50 minutes for the event to conclude. So all I've been doing is multitasking, and it is killing me. Where like I've got an event timer that I'm watching, where I'm like, watch for it to end, make sure it ends on time, make sure the JavaScript executes, closes the session out, things work perfectly. And then I'm on another thing, and I look back, and it's like, you're 3 hours late responding to this. And I'm like, oh my God. How did I get so sidetracked? And it's easy. Like I miss meetings because I'm just heads down watching a clock right now.
Yeah,
and
I almost missed a meeting this week.
To the extent that I have my Amazon device like hooked up to my work calendar now, so that it says audibly, you have a meeting right now, go to your meeting. Because like when I'm head down, I've got my ambient audio, YouTube, whatever, and then I've got this clock that I'm watching, but I'm also running queries to figure out what's going on over here. And I'm pushing my multitasking too far.
Yeah, I'm starting to think multitasking is just a figment of my imagination. I don't think there really is multitasking. There's just a not getting things done on a lot of things at once tasking. But I'm not sure there's actually multitasking.
Yeah. We had a call this week, and I'm texting Eric like, where are you at? I can't do this without you.
Well, and like NorCal Kid just said, they were 20 minutes late to a staff meeting because they were making lunch. Like, absolutely, I have missed stuff because my dog is barking and wants his food, and then there's my cats meowing and they want their food, and then I forget to have lunch until 5 o'clock at night. Like, we're not meant for multitasking. And unfortunately, the people I work with are good at that. Like I have a person who I'm working with on a big issue, and it takes me 3 hours to get back to her, and I say, I'm sorry, I'm like on 3 other things, and she's totally understanding of that, which is really great to have as a coworker, someone who understands that, yeah, you're being pulled in 10 directions sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love Buttery's comment here. Context switching is one of the most difficult things for our monkey brains, and that's completely true.
I mean, they've done a study that said something like 15 minutes to switch contexts. Like if you're working on something and you're focused and you get distracted, it's 15 minutes until you're back on track again. Just the slightest.
Well, that was actually the argument I used with one of our clients to get our developers out of meetings, because they would constantly have these meetings that they wanted all the developers at. I'm like, you understand, A, the time they're in these meetings, they're not coding, and B, their ramp down, ramp up time only adds to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll have. I mean, my ticket estimation is based off this too. I'll have a ticket that's 0.25, whatever that means for your. To me, that's a text change. That's fine. I can do that in one sitting.
You go down to a quarter of a point?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like
I actually don't know what this pointing system is all about.
It's like a week.
What?
So like, if it was 0.1 points, that's a change in a sentence on a static page. 0.25 is like a small amount of JavaScript, or like we know there are 10 places this verbiage gets used, change it in all 10 places. But when I get past that, I start counting that distraction time. I start saying like, yeah, if this is a 2-point ticket, it's 2.5 because I'm going to be working on other things. I'm going to get pulled away. I'm not going to be able to focus the way I want to focus. And then when I do focus the way I want to focus, I miss meetings. And that task switching is something that I cannot find a solution for.
Yep.
I've killed the podcast.
You absolutely did.
I'm working on a project right now. Good. What are you gonna say?
I was gonna say,
No,
it
that's all
helps
you.
you.
Just-
You know what helps you with your focus?
What helps you with focus?
A good IDE. Hello, listener. This is Eric, the host of PHPUgly, and it's really me, not some AI-generated voice, because I care about you, the listener, and think you deserve a real read of one of our sponsors. And that's what this is. Here at PHPUgly, we are genuinely excited and happy to have JetBrains PhpStorm as a sponsor. We all use PhpStorm every day, and it makes development easier and fun. PhpStorm is a cutting-edge IDE tailored for PHP and web developers. Whether you're a professional PHP developer or a hobbyist working on personal side projects, there's never been a better time to check it out, or maybe to check it out again with a slick, clean new UI, blazing fast speed enhancements, and a richer toolkit that's transforming the way you code. Code like a professional. Visit JetBrains today at jetbrains.com/PHPStorm and kick off your 30-day free trial to start coding smarter, not harder. Now, back to the show. Thanks,
Thank you.
PHPStorm.
PHPStorm.
I also moved over in our Discord, and it'll be in our show notes if you're listening to the audio version of this podcast. We stumbled upon a playlist from JetBrains for PHP, the power of PHP, and A Woods in our Discord found the YouTube versions. There's a Spotify link and a YouTube link in there, and I've actually been listening to it a lot. So, yeah.
Cool. I was starting to say that I've been using PHPStorm to
Damn it.
bring in. I'm moving a microservice into the monolith because the microservice is on a really old OS, on an old version of PHP, and not maintained at all. So I'm spending all this time, almost not copy and pasting, but trying to bring that logic over, realizing that there's logic in there that doesn't make sense anymore. So I got the okay to, kill that feature because we were using a field as something else. Like the field was named connect to, but we were using it as some sort of weighting algorithm thing. And it was like, I don't think we do this anymore. And it's very confusing. Let me drop this. And they were fine with that. But I spend all this time bringing this logic over, and I get some testing around it. Things are going great. And I happen to ask a simple question, and they're like, oh yeah, don't forget about this, and that. I'm like, that's not in the code. I'm looking at the code that I pulled from the repo. And he's like, oh yeah, by the way, I had to do that in production because I can't push from production to GitHub because the operating system is too old. So I spent all this time, and then I go and I'm like, oh crap, there's like things that have changed. So now I'm looking at it again. Finally, I get all those pieces pulled over. I'm like, okay, put it out to CI and QA to have them test, and it's still broken. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Yeah, I can't even read the code because I coded it completely wrong anyway. It's like, this is called numbers. It must be the user's numbers. No. It's not the user's numbers. That's the numbers they can dial into for something else.
Well, that makes perfect sense.
Name your variables, people. Come on.
Yeah, it's been a fun week. I think that's finally a done project, I'm happy to have that off my plate.
I had a great PHPStorm win the other day where I was, again, task switching to an old ticket, and I pulled the branch up, and PHPStorm was like, "Oh, the files you're looking at aren't relevant to this ticket. Let me pull up the files that were
What?
to this ticket." Yeah,
You're full of shit.
I'm not. I'm not. It does it sometimes. There's a way of getting it to do it on a regular basis.
It does it based on the branch you're on.
Well, it sometimes does and sometimes doesn't. But like pulling up a branch where I edited 3 files, it does really well with. Where it closes all the tabs I had open and opens up the 3 files that have been edited in this branch since develop. And if you rebase, it kind of loses track of what it was doing. Because rebasing is like, 800 files changed. But if you're not rebasing, it just says, you were doing this. Let's put you back there.
It's usually what you had open last time you switched branches.
It's inconsistent.
Are you branching outside of PHPStorm?
Continent, there's difference.
What?
What?
So I'm confused.
I said from the start when I switched over to PHPStorm that I had
your opening to move on. You let it go.
I have issues with how PHPStorm handles Git, but PHPStorm has said that Git is one of their big focuses on the next release. I'm highly anticipating that.
I forget. Are you using Jira?
I am. Jira, Bitbucket, which did a big announcement today, but that's a different story.
All right, let me stay on PHPStorm. Are you using the tasks piece of PHPStorm? I
am not.
I started using that. It's really cool. So you connect it up to your Jira. I think it has other. You can connect it to other ticketing systems as well.
Yeah.
But basically, you can click on there and say, "I want to open a task." It will reach out and say, "Okay, what tasks are assigned to you?" and give you a list, and you choose that. It'll help you create the branch and then kind of track that piece for you. And then you just kind of switch. But it also creates a brand new change set for you, because I don't know if you know, in your commit log, there's different change sets. So you can move things around. You can shelve things easily. But yeah, the tasks piece has been pretty helpful.
Yeah, I had it for a while. We went through a lot of changes with our IDE, like embedded IDE rules. One of the things PHPStorm lets you do is set a project scope for your rules. And we had to get rid of that because it turns out that extensions can write to sort of random parts of the project scope. So we have an extension that does Sonar Cloud analysis, and it decided after an upgrade that we weren't saving things here anymore, we were saving them here. And it created a massive problem for all developers. So we ended up taking the project scope out of things. But there is a task system. It works great with GitHub PRs, GitHub issues, Bitbucket, and Jira pipelines and stuff like that. I just haven't fixed it yet.
So, Eric, it does work with Redmine. I don't know if that's technically the same as Plan.io, but it also works with, there's a whole list of task servers: UTrack, Jira, Lighthouse, Pivotal Tracker, GitHub, Bugzilla, GitLab. There's a Trello.
If it works with GitHub, I guess that would be a good place for it to start. We have a couple
on that one. You could try it on the new project we're working on.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, that's interesting. I have to try, and that's just the base install. There's no no extension or anything.
Yeah, when you go into your settings, just look for task servers.
Gotcha.
Under tools, tasks, servers.
I'll have to do that. I will make that a thing this week. Well, what's that face for, Tom?
I just saw the dumbest thing.
It's just your reflection. Calm down. Always looks like that.
That was good.
Oh,
and
you
quick.
got me thinking, and I was like, I had the weirdest issue with Tinkerwell today. And Tinkerwell connects to your Docker container. And
Are
runs things.
you using Tinkerwell through PHPStorm?
No, I'm using Tinkerwell as a
Okay.
standalone.
Yeah, I can never get the PHPStorm extension to work. I'm not sure what it's supposed to do, but it doesn't work for me.
No, I just pulled up my IDE, and there's a big red square that says, "Hey, you've been watching Tinkerwell do nothing for a long time. Do you still want to debug this session?" And I'm like, I didn't want to debug it in the first place. That's why it's sitting there timing out. It was sitting there doing nothing because, like,
Wait, I have a breakpoint?
I hate when that happens. Like, why isn't this loading anymore?
I love
What did I break?
I love the fact that most of the time when I hit a breakpoint, the IDE pops up over the browser, but just sometimes it doesn't, and I'm like sitting there watching a page just time out over and over again. I'm like, boy, this thing's running slow.
I think we have a bigger problem here.
Yeah. Our database replication must be real off because this is just sitting here. I hate that.
Well, listen, I don't talk a lot about other conferences because I'm greedy and I only want people to think about PHP tech. But John, I shared with you, I think we're doing tech wrong. First, I went to LaraCon US and there was no swag bag. There was no swag. They didn't give you anything, not even a t-shirt. I'm like, well, wait a minute. That was a lot of money we spent on those things. But then I'm hearing all this.
Please tell me it was just you that didn't get swag.
It very well might have been, to be honest with you. I haven't asked around. But then I'm hearing all this kerfuffle in our Discord. Again, the PHPUgly Discord, discord.phpugly.com. Great conversations in there about LaraCon EU. And like they're pricing developers out of even going. So I'm like, wait, what? So I click on it and I check it out. And at first I'm like, no, that's just Monopoly money. It's got one of those like weird squiggly things. And no, that's like a real currency over in Europe. And I'm like, wow, that's real money? That's crazy. And then I did the conversion to real money, US dollars. First thing,
I would like to apologize for Eric's statement. All other foreign currencies.
We know about this whole VAT system that happens,
yes,
especially over in EU. There's a 20% VAT on the conference tickets. Dude, it is no joke how expensive these tickets are. Like, they are really banking on the idea that companies are going to send people to this conference.
Right, but did you not remember last week's conversation about how weird the European market for Laravel was compared to the US market?
Well, that was my response. Like when they said it, I'm like, well, the EU is like, you can look at the Discord. This is exactly what I said. It's like, twice as many people as the US. Because I've always went, it's in Amsterdam. I keep telling the current wife I want to go to Amsterdam. The current wife is not interested in going to Amsterdam on any level, but
that's weird.
Like everything PHP happens in and around Amsterdam. Yeah. So I said, I'm like, this is it. Maybe I can wing this. I don't know. I would do this. Spend a couple of weeks over there, and I'll be fine. Yeah, no. I'm not doing that. I'm not even going to hint that I'm doing it. So freaking expensive.
So, what I was speculating about was that all of the European developers are in a space the size of Texas, whereas all of the Laravel developers in the US are in a space the size of the Soviet Union. So, they can definitely upcharge, and I guarantee you that Taylor has looked into how much money should he charge for the venue he's providing and for the space he has.
Well, I don't think this is Taylor. I don't think Taylor.
I don't think originally it was, but I think it is now because.
Oh, you think?
If I were Taylor and I saw a chart that said that 60% of your developers were in the space of Dallas, Texas, then yeah, I would be like, yeah, that's mine now. I bought it and I own it. I mean, you guys did that.
I mean,
did that for a conference that hadn't happened for 3 years.
That makes sense. I will say that it totally makes sense. It's like I can totally see Taylor up in his family and moving to the EU because why not focus there, right?
For sure. I mean, and given the results of the Laravel survey, it's not confusing.
But would you pay?
Where are you going to put Lamborghini in America?
Would you even go to your boss and say, "Hey, can I have $1,000 to buy a conference ticket? Oh yeah, you're going to fly me and put me up too, but I just need the $1,000 for the what is it? 2-day event, like the 2-day single track event." I assume. You know what? I'm talking on my ass. I don't even know.
Just did that 6 months ago.
Huh?
What?
For what?
Well, how much was tech with flight, hotel, and ticket?
Well, we're talking about just conference.
Yeah.
and it's a 3-day event, 3 tracks, a little bit different.
Oh, is it 3 tracks now? Okay.
No,
ours is 3 tracks. Ours is 3 tracks. Yeah.
No, I just
So that's what I was just checking. It's like, historically, Laracons have been single track. So this is February 5th and 6th, 2 days. As far as I know, this is like a single track conference still. I'm not seeing anything saying it's not.
I'm not tooting my own horn here. I'm saying, as a developer who's been employed in PHP for 20 years and who's been in Laravel for 10 years, if I were unemployed or looking for employment, I would go to a Laracon event. I wouldn't attend a single thing, and I would meet with every sponsor and hiring agent who was at the event at the time.
I would say that isn't a great idea, but I know for a fact somebody who went to tech and met somebody at tech and had a conversation ended up going to work for that person from tech.
Not just like randomly. Like PHP JetBrains has people at tech.
Wait a minute. Wait. Pause for 1 second, Tom. I'm sorry. I'm just coming to a realization here, and it's really bothering me. So I shared with you that the tickets are just south of $1,000 in real US money.
Not real EU money, because EU has a higher minimum wage, and you don't.
I'm seeing on the website, interested in speaking, submit your talk idea. They don't even have their speaker lineup yet. Right. This is blind early bird.
Well,
if they have that,
I hadn't heard of blind early bird until you guys started doing it. So,
Tech has been doing that for years.
No, we made that up. We totally
wasn't until Wave. I was like, "What's this bird thing?" No, but for a lot of people who are in a dense population, if you're in a dense population and you consider yourself a good or great programmer, or you have a lot of contributions to open source and you have a portfolio with you and you go to these conferences, you meet people and get jobs. And I'm not saying that just...
you don't have to be a great developer. You don't have to have a portfolio.
You can be...
You meet people.
That's where I was getting.
You don't have to be... It's not even that you're shit. My first tech, I never thought I was anybody. Like, I thought I was lucky to be where I'm at. I'm not going anywhere. I wouldn't look for another job because I was scared that I didn't have the skill set. I didn't know why. Asshole. No, it's more that you start to realize as you're talking to people, like, no, I know what I'm doing. I have some skill, whether it's good or bad. I have some sort of skill there.
But I'm just...
So we have Oscar to blame for this notion that you think you're a real developer. God damn it, Oscar.
No, pre-Oscar.
You know who we have to blame. Because the first meetup I went to, I got offered a job that was a raise of $30,000 or $40,000. It's like I had been in the industry for 10 years, or it's 8 years or whatever. I went to the first SDPHP meetup. I talked glibly and I acted superior, and I
Made me feel like crap at my. I think I was given the talk.
that was
that
the
night.
second one. That was the second one. And I
Wait
met
a minute.
somebody-
I'm calling bullshit. You didn't come to SDPHP and walk in there and give a talk. You did not do that.
No,
No,
I
no, he's
raised
not
my
saying
hand.
give a talk.
Oh, okay, okay.
I
okay.
raised my hand. Somebody said, "Is there any questions?" And lots of questions. And somebody in the audience took notice that I knew what I was talking about, had questions that were relevant to the conversation, and gave me an opportunity that launched the rest of my career, put me into the meetup scene for the next 5 years that I was involved with it. And this is not just, I'm not just talking about conferences, I'm talking about meetups, I'm talking about Discord channels, work groups, the things you have locally, the things you have as someone on the internet. If you engage in them, they pay out tenfold. And so, the ticket's expensive to Laracon EU, but if you're someone who's looking to engage in that particular environment,
I don't know, dude. You just said you did it for free by going to user group meetups, and there's a ton of them
but I continue to
Amsterdam
do a lot
area.
of that. I continue
Big ones
to do a lot
with
of
like
that for free.
major. You didn't even go to your first conference until like years later.
We're gonna bring my mental health into it. Wow.
Just saying, a grand is a lot of money, especially if you don't have a job.
Yeah,
like
but it's a lot of money. It's a
personal
lot of money if you don't have health insurance to pay, or if you have a higher standard of living. I mean, yes, it's a lot of money, but that's appealing to a very specific audience that we're not party to.
So you're justifying. You're saying you think that's a reasonable ask.
It's
I'm
it's
saying
not
any
it's not-
reasonable ask is what the market will bear.
Yeah. So if they're selling out year after year, then you raise
That's
the
true.
price. You raise
That's
the price
true.
until you're not selling out.
That's valid. That's valid. I'll give you that. Yeah, they definitely don't seem to have a problem selling tickets. My only concern is that they're going to start. Maybe this is part of the agenda. I don't know. I'm not throwing out conspiracy theories there, but I was going to say they're going to be missing out on a chunk of what makes the Laravel ecosystem. And like I said, when I went to Nashville, it was well over half the people there when Taylor asked, "Who here is this
Your
your
first time
first
here,
Laracon?" It was well over half. I don't think those people are going to pay $1,000, but maybe that's the thing, right? Maybe they are trying to get more business focused. Maybe they are looking for that level of person who's going to go.
It's community. Community defines what we do as developers and educators, because we're not, I mean, to be totally transparent, the three of us are not just developers. We're developers, educators, and we're involved in the community in like a more than standard level. And there's going to be a lot of first timers for any conference, because you get to a point where you feel like you've heard everything, or Taylor hasn't suggested that there's some huge reveal at the next one. But you put it in your calendar and put it on your wish list. Maybe it'll come to you, maybe it won't, maybe something else comes up that's different. But I mean, these are all community events, which are things that we try to.
That's what gets me. Like I've gone to conferences when I worked at the enterprise. Like IBM's conference, I think that thing was like $1,300, $1,400. I went to Google quite a few years. That was probably around $1,000. This was 10, 20 years ago, where I'm like, wow, I'm not going to be able to go to this conference. And you turn in your form, they sign off on it, and you go.
Sure, but how many conferences have you been to where the keynote was, here's how we educate people in our community once we fly home?
That's where I was getting at, right? like those price points for enterprise sort of conferences, your IBMs, your Cisco's, that probably makes sense. I don't see like in my head, Laravel's still that community conference. Maybe that's my bad.
But
Maybe I'm holding on to
Laravel has
Laravel.
local meetups everywhere, and the people who run these local meetups are the ones that go to the conference.
Thank you.
Right? I mean,
No.
it's a conference for educators.
No, not the Laravel ones. I wouldn't say that, but I would say tech is. The Laravel ones aren't. I don't think are that. It's to see what's new in Laravel.
Yeah, Laravel is a showcase. It's not necessarily
exactly. That's a good way, and that's not bad. I mean, it's not bad, but yeah.
Where tech is more about continuing education, in my opinion. Like, I want to be a better developer. What am I missing? What can I learn about?
And the whole magazine's kind of like that, right?
Yeah. Have you been watching any of the chatter in Discord while you're?
Do I ever watch the Discord?
It looks like we now have to come up with PHP tech themed dice for an RPG. Playing Dungeons and Dragons at Tech.
Did you guys play D&D this year?
No. Well, I don't know. I don't know if anyone got a game going.
Are you a D&D person?
I played in high school once or twice until my best friend at the time got in big trouble and I wasn't allowed to hang out with him anymore.
Oh, I remember this story. Yeah, my kids are into it a little bit.
I know they want to come to Tech and run a D&D game.
I don't think they play real D&D. I think they just make up their own rules. It doesn't seem real to me.
It's all made up. What are you talking about?
Well, this is made up. It's really weird stuff.
No, we went to the park a couple weeks ago or more now, and we played a little family soccer, a little parents against kids, and that was fun because we kicked their butts at soccer, and they got mad.
Way to get brave. Yeah, that's something to really boast about. No, wait till they can run circles around you because, buddy, it's coming.
Oh, I know. It's getting close already. It's crazy. Anyway, we had dinner prior to playing soccer, just sitting there at the park, and there was a group of teenagers, like high school kids, probably 15 of them sitting around a table playing Dungeons and Dragons. And my kid was like, I saw him constantly staring at them, like trying to eat, but was so focused. I'm like, it was fun when I tried playing. So
let me
kind of want to get him into it. Your mic was gone really bad because of the sound. Can't hear you.
Nope.
I mean, it's nice having the trickling river or whatever sounds. But
thank God I peed before he played that.
The brook.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's so weird. I'm hearing you guys perfectly fine, and the volume's all the way down. So wait, if I hit play again, you guys can't hear me now?
No, I can hear you now. It's like it's hit or miss.
That's weird.
It was just all miss at the beginning.
I don't know why that happens either. It's so bizarre because it's like it's not like I'm streaming it from my computer. This is all out on Restream. Anyways, thanks a ton to our supporters on Patreon. Many of them are family members and employees, and we appreciate it.
We appreciate it and are confused by it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, why am I spending money on myself? Damn it, I'm not that good.
Is it tax deductible?
But I wanted to say, huh?
Is that tax deductible? If
Absolutely not.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, they'll charge you more tax if they find out you're contributing to the show. Well, we do appreciate everybody.
I'm going
and we appreciate that you do it in real money and not that funny weird thing.
Yeah, I'm going to learn you this year with this money.
But I don't know, John. I feel like I must have shared this story with you, Tom. I don't think I shared it with you. But when my kids played water polo through high school, let me first say, Water polo was never a sport I was ever interested in. It always appealed. Like I saw that, I'm like, yeah, no, that's a sport you can really actually die in. Like it's crazy watching these kids play.
And it's the opposite of hockey, where like in the stands it makes sense, but on TV it doesn't make sense. Whereas water polo, it's like if you don't have an underwater camera, it's just a pool full of piranhas.
Well,
Splash.
it's also like there's like a real the real possibility of drowning. Like you pull a muscle, those kids sink fast. But that's not my point on any of this.
New title for the show. Kids sink fast.
Kids sink fast. Somebody put that in there. At the end of the year, they have parents versus kids. And I'm like, this doesn't really interest me. I don't particularly want to do it. But
You did not want to beat up your children underwater?
I saw myself as somewhat of an athlete. Like I'm like, yeah, all right, I'll get in there. Well, and it's not fair either. It's very much weighted towards the parents, where like all the parents can play, but the kids have to play with whatever the right number is. We have the parents have like floaties and all sorts of like weapons and stuff we can use. And these kids just like I couldn't swim up and down the full length of the pool once without just wanting to just end it all. Like I'm done. I'm tired. Dude,
I
it's so
fitted
crazy.
sheets this week. Are you kidding me? It took me 45 minutes.
To what?
Fitted sheets. I put fitted sheets back on my bed and took a break halfway through.
We lay down, but I don't get no damn sheets. Damn it!
It's this thin Colorado air is what it is.
Yeah, I have no idea how these kids did it, and it was pretty hardcore. Because
they didn't just swim one day out of the year to play against.
No, they didn't. And
But on the list,
I guess the girls' season and the boys' seasons are not overlapping. I don't think. So the girls like get like the cold time of year. Now it's Southern California, so it's not like it's bitter cold, but it gets cold. And these kids were on the pool deck at like 5 a.m. jumping into the water to practice. I played baseball during the summer where we're such wimps. If it rains, we don't play. I wouldn't have been on that field at 5 a.m. for anything. Are you kidding me? Much less jumping into a cold pool.
So this is the stages of acceptance or the stages of grief where you're at disbelief right now, but like give it a year or so, you'll be angry about it. Oh, they're doing water polo? Kids are always doing water polo.
Huh? My kids are out of school, man.
I know.
I don't know where you're going with that.
Well, no, they're not out of school. One of them's still in school, aren't they?
I mean, they're in advanced tiers of education. Yes. One is being ready
to audio again.
Huh?
I'm losing your audio again. It's doing the same.
You're very well, no, he was just very choppy, like bad internet for a minute.
Yeah, but the video wasn't. Anyways.
Yeah, it was to me. Looked like it.
I'm killing this Rambox. I think it's Rambox.
It's not fucking Rambox.
It's Rambox, man. I'm feeling it.
How would you guys like to talk about programming?
Love to. It's the whole thing. It's the whole point of this podcast, and we never talk about it.
So you can play this along with us while I'm doing the other stories, but the coder or serial killer quiz. Did you guys see this week?
No. Share links. Share links.
I am sharing links. It's got a bad URL. It's vol.wtf/coder-serial-killer-quiz.
Okay, just share the damn link in Discord. What the hell's wrong with you?
It's on the Trello board.
You gotta move it here. I'll move it over.
Moved it.
Done.
Yeah, you
moved it up next.
You have to
figure
figure
out
out
to the right spot.
Is this a serial killer or is this a inventor of a programming language? So go ahead and play along at home while we cover our other stories.
Wait. Let me get this. Let me get this shared here so everybody can see what we're doing. All right, go ahead. What are we doing here?
So the big thing in PHP comes from.
Do I hit start? Are we playing this? What are we doing?
We're playing it while I'm discussing the other programming topics.
Okay, can you tell a coder from a cannibal? A mathematician from a murderer? Try to spot who.
I actually kind of want to see if Eric can do this.
Oh, I can't. I'm horrible at tests. Oh, geez. I'm gonna say. There we go. Yep.
Yep.
All right.
Bertrand Mayer, designer of the Eiffel programming language.
She looks evil. She looks evil.
The
Uh-huh.
house landlady. Yes.
That was one of the obvious ones. If you're listening to the audio podcasts, yeah, I'm sorry. Just go to YouTube.
If it's an audio podcast, this part should get cut out completely.
Yeah, I'm not cutting anything out, man. I stopped cutting things a long time ago.
Murdered at least 9 tenants to claim their Social Security.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, you can see this. It's the mouth, man. You can always tell a murderer by their mouth. Oh, look at this one.
Oh boy.
This guy looks like a Nazi. He looks like a Nazi. I'm going killer.
It's a German hairline.
There you go. No.
The sound effects had to be thrown in there, huh?
Whoa.
I'm glad Restream's capturing that.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Okay. Are there more? How long does this go on for?
I think there's 10 total. It's short.
Okay.
Oh, but
What am I? 3 for 3?
There's a fantastic
All right.
twist.
The sunk-in eyes definitely looks like somebody who's looked at a computer screen for way too long. We're going programmer. Damn it!
The of Rostov is in fact not a programmer.
Okay, why don't you read what he did? Murdered
and mutilated more than 50 people, mostly. I'm done. I'm done reading.
Oh, that's horrible. Yeah. All right, let's move on.
And ate his brother.
Did it really say that?
No, it said he was told that children did that.
All right, again, a guy who looks like he has no reason to live. I'm feeling that's a programmer.
He's got the 70s wings on the collar, a big 70s collar.
But he's rocking the goatee, so murderers don't do that. Murderers don't have distinct things on their face. I'm going programmer. There you go.
Right. Co-designed the first electrical general-purpose computer and created shortcode, the first programming language actually used on a computer. Ada Lovelace is frequently given credit for writing the first programming language. It never actually ran on a computer.
Oh, look at this guy. He wow, this is a tough one. It's
very clearly like a screen cap from East Germany. Like
Did
East
you
German
program in
television.
Did I program in Ada? What?
Yeah, did you ever use the programming language Ada? ADA?
No.
I don't think so.
That was my main programming language in college because I was majoring in aviation computer science, and supposedly that was the language of like air traffic control or the aviation.
Yeah.
Now he flies kites for a hobby.
I had a great flight today. 34 minutes in the air.
All right, what do we think? Programmer or serial killer? Come on, I'm gonna push through these real fast.
Serial killer.
Push this. Boom. Serial killer. Nope.
Invented Scheme programming language with Guy L. Steele Jr. and involved in MIT's AI research. Member of the amateur
he looks like
telescope
an
makers
MIT
of
guy.
Boston.
Definitely.
Ben,
Well, that looks like a mugshot.
This one's my favorite.
Ben Ramsey is listening to the show, and I'm kind of mad at him right now.
Welcome to my world. I'm like the Hulk. I just stay mad at him. I'm always mad.
He's like, I don't play chess, and right now he's kicking my ass in chess.
All right. I feel like this is baiting me to go serial killer, so I'm gonna go programmer.
That queen move you just made was
killed entire families at point-blank range with a shotgun before setting the house alight.
It looks like a mugshot too.
To me, killing people is a ritual.
That looks like a programmer. You never think the ladies are programmers. You always think they're killers.
No, that's
Cobalt lady, yeah.
Much of COBOL
Navy.
in 2 weeks.
crazy, right?
In 2 weeks.
I feel like I know this one. Who is this?
That's DHH.
No, it ain't.
Close
Who is
enough.
this programmer? Oh, he's the
Creator of the Python
Bolivian
programming
dictator
language.
for life for Python.
Yeah, Python.
Yeah. I
Named
knew he
after
looked familiar.
Python.
Right. So you say there's only 10, right?
Something like that.
We're about to find out.
Again, this looks like this looks like a have you seen this man photo. I feel like I want to go
Is it the
programmer
mustache?
again,
Are
but
you mustache biased?
give it to me. You know my rule. Serial killers don't have distinct facial anything. I'm going programmer. I'm sticking by my rule.
I love this
There
one
you
so
go.
much. He is a programmer who was convicted of killing 16 young men, kept a cryptic scorecard, but never actually programmed a actual language himself.
With 61 entries.
He was just a programmer, not a language programmer.
Whatever. What are the results here? Yeah, not bad.
I mean, yeah, it says, maybe avoid working in criminology or IT recruitment, which...
All right, that was a good one. All right, that was a good one. That's a good way to wrap up the show, I think. Do we have more to talk about?
I have one more thing.
If it's
Captain
PHP,
Kangaroo.
only PHP.
There's a lot.
We have to have a new rule. At the hour mark, we can't rant anymore because people just think we're crazy. We have to have actual PHP topics.
So does it mean
I
save
would
PHP for the hour mark?
I would argue with you, but you just recorded a 2.5-hour rant about
About a rant.
No, it turns out it was a 6-hour rant that he edited down to 2 hours.
Well, it turns out the last guy was a programmer, but not a language programmer.
Language inventor.
Dmitry Stogov has submitted to PHP a total rewrite of the JIT engine. If you're not familiar with JIT, with JIT, JIT is a just-in-time interpreter that handles pre-compiled versus incompatibly compiled PHP executions and figures out which one to run and runs either the pre-compiled or the post-compiled one. The big thing about this, first off, is that everyone is very thankful. But
Wait, is this our Dmitry?
Dmitry Stogov? No.
Damn it! I need to be able to take credit for something.
Not a replacement.
So the interesting thing about
You
this
don't
was
know,
that
Ben.
the objections to this were that he was going to develop it as a module, not part of PHP source, and he was going to have it on his GitHub account. And there was a lively round of conversation about who gets hit by what bus and what happens when a negative actor takes care of something or credentials spread across multiple accounts make things more vulnerable. So Dmitry just came out.
I'm going to interrupt you one more time. Is there a card for this?
Yeah.
He moved it over. It just hasn't posted up there yet.
Okay. Thank you.
So Dmitry came out and said, you know what, you guys are right. I would love to be considered the maintainer of this, but PHP is a place for everyone to contribute, and it's not my place to just change the way that we do contributions to PHP source. So this is going to be a core component, I believe, of PHP 9.
Ben is saying it's being developed as a separate project.
So it's no longer being developed as a separate project. It's being maintained by Dmitry as his own project, but it's a component of source now.
You know what? This would actually, this just occurred to me. So we're on externals.io, which gives you a view of the internal threads that go back and forth between PHP internals on topics. These threads can get really long. I don't know how many. Does it tell you how many? Yeah. Anyways, this is where AI would come in. I would love to, at the very top of this, have AI summarizing everything that's been discussed so far. So I don't have to go through and read the back and forth, because you read something and then they talk their way out of that and they come up with another plan. It's like, okay, I just spent the last 10 minutes reading that first one and you guys aren't using it. Damn it. We need AI to kind of give us summaries of the conversation 2.2, the current conversation, like where it's at and what's been discussed.
We don't need
Somebody work on that, please. Can anybody? Ben, you apparently have some free time. Let's go. Get on that. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oscar called somebody else out on this podcast now. That's nice.
That's hurtful, Oscar. Very hurtful.
So yeah, it is going to be merged into master within a couple days. And
What?
Dimitri doesn't plan on doing active development for a few months, but as long as there's no major problems, the old JIT code will be pulled out and the new JIT code will be dropped in, and it'll be a seamless transition. The big takeaway here is something called IRs, which I'm having trouble getting a definition of. But the quote here from Dimitri is, "It makes a base for future improvements and eliminates many low-level details of the existing PHP JIT. Instead of supporting assembler code for different CPUs, now PHP generates a single IR and passes it to a PHP independent JIT engine."
Intermediate representation.
Okay, so this is pseudocode, like pseudo assembly.
I'm just going to say, I'm reading through this, including Ben Ramsey. There's a few people on here that were at Tech. This is why you want to go to Tech, because you get to talk to these are people literally moving the language forward. This is crazy. I mean, I wish I was to this level. Like, I wish I could contribute on this level. I have no way of being this insightful. This is crazy. Good job, Ben, by the way, since you're in our Discord. Good job.
So, from my understanding about this intermediate relay, is that it allows for coding for different architectures independent from the project itself. So there would be an x86 version, there'd be a x64, an ARM, and an Arch. But yeah, this is good news. Everyone's really excited about it. I have not seen benchmarks of this. I don't know if it's going to be a significant improvement, but I know that JIT basically got abandoned from 7.1 up to the current timeline.
Well, I don't think anybody understood the code base. There was the one guy who went on to do Rust stuff was like the one that really had an understanding of the code base. And even he, my understanding was, I don't want to say struggle, just it was a lot of complexity.
Sure. And I did see benchmarks out of the old JIT that basically said, if you strict enforce type hinting on everything, it still isn't great. Whereas the important part about the JIT compiler is type restrictions are very, very important. You eliminate runtime exceptions because of them. So it's...
So can I ask a question? And I'm not trying to stir up shit here.
Thank you for watching.
But what do you think the reality of you ever using a JIT? I like the idea, don't get me wrong, and I don't think we should stop doing it. I have other thoughts about JIT, but from your perspective, what do you think you would use a JIT engine in PHP?
You don't, I mean, you turn it on and we turned it on and saved 50% on in our application.
Oh, on performance? It performed 50% faster?
Yeah. I mean, it's
What do
it's
you-
not
what do you
like
guys
it's
gonna
not
do
it's
now?
not something you have to do or anything.
Yeah,
It's
I
part
can't
of
drop the
the
mic better than that.
it's part of PHP. You enable the flags, you set a couple of things in your INI, and you're off to the races.
I will say that strict type equals true or strict type equals 1 is at the top of every new
Right.
file that's accepted
doesn't-
for where I
Which we should be
usually
doing more and
operate.
more anyway.
And that strict typing is what does JIT justice. Strict typing is essential to just-in-time compiling, because if the file and the variables match the strict types, then it does not re-encode or retype the whole file. It runs the one in cache. So
John, in your situation, I mean, let's say they make this big swap out. You guys would just turn off the old one, upgrade to the new PHP, and then just turn on the new one. Like my point being, like, there's no like migration path. There's nothing like you guys have to do in the code base.
There
no,
was-
no,
But
you don't have to do anything.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
no
So-
code that we wrote for it.
So
Right.
what the
Just-
JIT stuff does is it takes all of the variable elements of your code, puts them out into a segment of memory, and all of the things that don't change and puts them out into a segment of memory. The PHP tokenizer runs on the code, and then the JIT algorithm analyzes the variables to see if they match the code's strict typing. And if they do, then it runs strict type against the code that was already tokenized.
right. So
If
so
there's a
Ben
mismatch,
is
It just does its
Ben
own
is
normal.
touching on something that I was curious about. Basically, he says JIT is really powerful when you start looking at long running processes. With a JIT compiler, could I potentially run PHP code with the JIT compiler on like embedded hardware, where I don't need the web server, I don't need PHP as a standalone process. I can just do the JIT compiler. the JIT.
No, you still have to tokenize on the first iteration, so you still need the full
Shit.
PHP executable. Now, and also what I believe Ben is saying is long running processes as Roadrunner, where you run the same process, flush the
Not necessarily, but that's one version of it. Roadrunner isn't the only way to run long-running processes.
Well, no. So I'm saying Roadrunner as in multiple executions of the same JIT process. So Roadrunner works. Roadrunner works because instead of ending the thread when PHP says I'm done, it flushes the variables, resets the globals, and runs the same script that was already compiled against. So it's already kind of doing what JIT says, but it still has to tokenize to make sure that the variables pass the litmus test. If you do JIT plus Roadrunner or JIT plus whatever the other one was, there's two. Do you guys remember?
We had an article on it.
Laravel Octane supports both. So if you're running long-running processes that handle multiple requests, JIT plus these third-party services, Swole, that's the other one.
Yeah.
JIT
Oh yeah, we
plus
interviewed.
Swole
Okay.
or JIT plus Roadrunner are huge potential increases. And Ben is talking about opcode caches, which is another area of optimization. It gets very confusing. I don't do it. I'm not trying to say that I understand what's happening, but what I think is happening.
Sounds like we need a JIT talk at Tech.
I'd love it. You know who you should reach out to? Dimitri. I'm guessing he's going to be at Laracon EU.
All right, we are running along, and this isn't
And we
even a
need to-
rant.
We didn't even talk about the Microsoft data breach.
I don't even know about the Microsoft data breach.
There's a Microsoft data breach?
Yeah, I just saw it 2 hours ago. Well,
38.
I guess 3 hours.
We'll
ago.
finish on this. 38 terabytes of data was accidentally exposed by Microsoft. The AI researchers.
Oh, I did hear about this. Is where it actually pulled in clones of desktops and things.
Yeah.
Good God.
So it appears that Microsoft has an AI GitHub repository that accidentally included a SAS token that allowed people to browse a third-party source.
Not just browse. You could update and delete the files on that source.
No, I didn't.
What?
Yeah. It wasn't just just read only. I started reading through this and it was just I'm assuming these researchers reached out to Microsoft. They got it fixed before they published this because that would have been bad.
Well, you sound like a certain Connolly I know. You're supposed to tell people when you see things like this.
All right. That's it. I'm wrapping this up. It's been an episode, regardless of what the title says. This is actually 353. No? What is it?
3. What?
3. It's 3. It's 353.
353. Wow, it's wrong in Trello, too.
What are you guys doing?
Oh, it is wrong in Trello.
It's wrong everywhere.
It's
unacceptable. Tom, I need you to go back and count all of our podcasts. Make sure we're actually at 353. Do you mind? Just
1 sec. Give me a sec. Give me a sec.
Okay. You take your time. All right. That's going to be it.
What happens with that missing one? Good. Wrap it up. What's taking you so long?
For him, keep going.
That's it for episode 353. I'm Eric.
I'm John.
I'm Tom.
Keep it ugly.
Keep it ugly.
Nobody queued this up, huh? Nobody. Just nobody. Here we go.
1, 2, 1, 2. Coming off the top, y'all know how we do. Listen, I'ma drop a freestyle you can cherish. I'ma send a shout out to the host named Eric. Yo, he's never on some average shit. You know Eric, he stays loud and passionate. I'm about to break it down for y'all with the clever song. Yo, shout the host named Thomas, cause he's never wrong. Yo, shout to John. You know that he's smart and quiet, unlike my freestyles, which cause a riot. I'm about to do it like this, cause the people love me. Shouts out to PHP, the ugly. It's called ugly cause it's not professional, but I'm about to come through and bless it with style. So let's do it when I'm spitting, I perfume the room. Yo, the segment of the show is called Doom and Gloom. That came from Thomas. Yeah, can nobody go beyond this? I get the mic and then I'm about to keep it like a promise. Yeah, and y'all know we fill them up with anguish. We talking about the PHP, the programming language. About to break it down, no exaggeration. What do y'all do for a living? Web applications. Okay, I can dig it. My words spray tight. They getting together on the Thursday nights. Yeah, when it comes to rhyming, you can call me the new dude. That's new true lyrics while y'all broadcast on YouTube. So let's get it. You know my lyrics are major. All up in the comments, they got plenty of haters, but they doing what they doing. Keep it ugly. We ending every show with the saying it's lovely. Let's go. Hey, shout out to y'all. Peace to the whole squad, man. Hope your channel is doing real well on YouTube. Hope you guys are having fun. And it was an honor and blessing to do this little custom freestyle for y'all. Hope you enjoy. Stay up. Yeah. Come on. Hey.
Man. So, I forgot to pull up music, so I'm just going to use what they have here. Hey, you guys remember? I don't know why I just thought of this. You remember when we used to have to clap check before we started?
Oh.
Boy, those were the days you were.
The dark ages.
That's awesome. John, how do you do background music? Oh, I see it.
So
Tom's a racist. He doesn't like hip hop. So let's go future pop.
That's not what happened.
All right, future pop it is. I think. Oh. Are you turning that up?
Yeah.
No, vaporwave or retrowave. Or-
We don't have those options. What are you talking about?
Bit synth.
We have chill, down tempo, lounge, hip hop, lo-fi, chill hop, ambient, or future pop.
Ambient.
Ambient, that's nothing. I'll do pretzel. That's all right.
Mike Page Dev is another one I have a problem with. He's kicking my ass in chess as well.
Mike is
Stop
good.
playing chess.
I suck at chess.
It took me 35 years to realize I was bad at video games, and after I realized that, my life got so much better.
Dude, I want to play chess again. It was messing with my head, man.
Just play Baldur's Gate 3. It's amazing.
No, I want to play like real games, not these video games.
We'll
I
play
understand
video
my-
chess, not.
Ass handed to me at this game. Ben is
Whoa.
killing me.
See, he's a little sniper, man. You can't trust that guy. I'm telling you. I tell you this all the time. You don't listen to me. You want to be his friend. He's a bad dude. I'm kidding.
Yeah. No, it's all good, Mike. Make your move.
Take him out, Mike. Take him out, Mike.
I do see it. It is mate in one. Just
Can I
do it.
watch?
Put
Can I
me-
watch your games?
Put me out of my misery. Here, watch it
Can I-
this way. Here,
No.
do it live, Mike. Queen to D1, mate.
Don't tell him.
He knows it. It's like right there. I have nowhere I can go.
Tom, what did you want to play?
Completely
Ambient.
bonked.
No, not ambient. What you said some tech shit earlier. What did you say?
Oh, like vaporwave?
Yeah. What's
Ben
vapor?
says he sucks at chess. As again, he's kicking my ass.
He's a liar. He's just a liar.
Thank you
I
for
don't
putting me
see-
out of my misery.
Don't see vaporwave.
Why didn't I let me?
Vaporwave or Outrun?
Here, there you go. There's the checkmate.
God, I want to be that good. Is there a search here? Oh yeah, there is a search. Here we go. Can I just search vaporwave? Is that like a word? Are you just messing with me?
No, vaporwave.
Is that one word or two words?
One word. You'll
Vaporwave.
know it when you see a statue of a Roman emperor.
Here's a vaporwave here. I gotta. Let me get this. Is this what you're talking about here? Hold on. Is this playing? You gonna play?
I made a move against Ben that I thought was great, and then he moved his queen, and I was just like in shock. I'm like, oh my gosh, that was such a good move. Bastard.
Yeah.
That's close.
Is this close enough? I gotta turn it down though, right? That's probably too loud.
This is the one everyone refers to when they go to vaporwave.
Yeah, but I have to do whatever. It's free.
You can
And,
play Simpsons Wave.
no, I'm good. All right. Is that too loud?
A little.
See if I can get Mack down. That's 5%. That is.
You can play the second one. It's fully commercially licensed.
Listen, we're not going to be here that long. Fine. You're fine with what you have. You get what you get and you don't throw a fit.
Until they like mute our entire video because of 2 minutes of audio.
I think if they were going to do that, they'd have already done it. I mean, we've got...
Able as I can almost guarantee you that's probably a thing. Checkmate for a online chess dating service. Why do you do that? Why do you do that? Wait. Alright, titles. Alright, let's run through titles real fast. Okay. Good. Okay, Monkey Brain. Oh, that's fine. I was like, Monkey Brains is actually sounding pretty good.
Best one.
Balls in every direction. Balls in the air. Playing with our balls. What did we talk about?
Multitask.
Yeah. Hiding the arrows. Hiding the honey badger. Tron Gate's not happening, Buttery. Thank you for your suggestion.
So much content. That dude is nuts.
Happiest place on earth for woke commies. That's a little long, Buttery. Let me share my screen with you guys. I need help. You guys are off playing chess, John.
How can you tell? He could be just masturbating.
This is true. He does have issues.
Really analyzing that move.
It's so bad. Ben is kicking my ass.
All right,
He's got me every way. This is crazy.
All right, PHP programmer, famous. Yeah. PHP pick up the mic. I'm actually good with both of those. Monkey Brains, chilled Monkey Brains. That's even worse. Tinker
Kids
not
Sing
so well.
Fast is so good.
Where's Kids Sing Fast? I don't even see. Somebody put that in here?
Mine.
Kids Sing Fast.
Yeah, 934.
Yeah, Kids Sing Fast. Floaties. Yeah, I mean, Kids Sing Fast. I don't know. It's just, I can't get a PHP spin on that. PHP True Crime.
No, I want to do Kids Sing Fast.
Who killed the elephant?
I like Hide the Badger. It's like so much, but that's also me.
Hide the Badger. Coder or serial killer? I mean, it's good. John, when do we even get the user group going again? Like, we did it up to tech, and we're like, all right, peace out.
No, we I thought about putting out a survey to the group to see where people want to have it, because when we had it in North County, we had nobody show up. Like it was us, Frank, and just yeah.
All right, I'm kind of between pick up the mic or
I didn't show up.
Pick up the mic or just in time guesswork or accidental exposure.
Daywoods is on board with Hide the Badger.
Hide the Badger?
I don't think that's what he meant by that comment.
I think it is.
Watch
your
now, just
stupid numbering scheme. +7.
So is it 7 up or down, you dumbass?
Down. +7.
So
How did you not even get that?
What?
+7.
Stop saying +7. Say 7 up or 7 down. What's wrong with you? Stop saying +7. +7 doesn't mean anything.
It means 7 more, not 7 less.
But plus is up.
Say there's no more or less. It's a damn file.
Well, if you had your numbering correct, it would make sense.
You can tell me exactly. Say, Eric, 7 down. Is that what you want me to do? Tron Tech. Damn, that's actually pretty good. Shit.
7, saying 7 up or 7 down works until you move your cursor all over the place. Like, stop it! I can't tell you a relative number.
The reason we're dodging Tron is because he keeps saying he's going to sue us, but he brings us so much exposure, and that shit is so funny, and we did it for like 40 minutes. Tron Tech is hilarious. Tron Gate Legacy is amazing. I think Tron Gate Legacy. I think Tron Gate Legacy is the best.
I'm not using Tron. Tron. I'm just not feeding.
Well, then you're not feeding the algorithm, and we're gonna sit forever at 8 views.
So Tron Tech does not say Tron Gate specifically.
Yeah, it just says Tron Tech.
Oscar did point out we could have a Tron themed tech.
I love everything this fucking dude does.
God, that is actually such a great idea. that would be such a hardcore inside joke.
He is so
God
crazy.
damn it. I love that idea. Fucking love that
Breaking
idea.
news.
I love
Radical woke whack jobs are ruining web development. That's the title of one of his recent videos. Oh, I love this part too. I didn't bring this up in the podcast, but the Tron Gate desktop app gets a new version. It's still 1.0. He started announcing new versions of his shit, but he can't call it new versions because he said like clear statement 1.0 forever.
Have you? I looked at his desktop app. It looks like something a kid wrote back in like.
Yeah, it's VS Code. It's like, or it's VB.
Is it
So,
really?
like, yeah, it's Visual Basic. Like all of his shit is.
Does it even run on Linux? I don't need to find out.
No, it's
but I was
for
just-
it's
I'm
for Windows.
Asking for a friend.
No, it's for Windows.
I don't understand the whole Tron Gate framework. Whatever.
You don't understand going crazy.
Come on, I need a title. I've got a.
It is a GitHub timeline of going crazy.
I got a thumbnail creator. It needs a title. Just in time guesswork. I'm gonna just in time guesswork.
NorCal kid, I turned the AC down to get colder and up to get warmer.
But if you want it more cold, you're turning it up.
Yeah, so I am aware that is a point of contention. I am just establishing my position.
I'm sorry. All right, NorCal kid, if you're doing the thumbnail, let's just go with just in time guesswork, I guess.
What? The one none of us liked?
Well, give me one. Which one do you guys want? You can decide right now. John, which one do you want?
Tron Tech.
John, which one do you want?
What about pick up the mic?
Tron Tech.
I almost spit my beer out because of him saying that.
Trontech?
No, pick up the mic. But that's context sensitive. Tron Tech, you know what you're getting into. We're going to talk about Tron for 40 minutes, which we did.
We didn't talk about tech hardly at all, which is a problem. They're one of our sponsors. Damn it.
Are they? I don't know. I haven't seen any money from them.
Yeah, weak.
I knew if I was quiet long enough, Eric would have something to say about that.
Yeah. All right. All right. Just do Trontech. Just do Trontech.
Just do it.
Come up with
Do
some.
it.
You
Some
asked me my
Tron-
opinion, then you're like, screw
Oh,
that.
the beautiful part about Tron Tech is the
Well, what's your
thumbnail
which one
makes
did you,
itself.
you really like
Tron.
PHP pickup mic?
No. Tron Tech, the thumbnail of
Tom, I
me,
need you to make an argument here.
the thumbnail of me, and then the remember the
I
old
want to hear where he's going
guy?
with this.
The old Tron guy meme who made his own Tron suit and was like
Yeah.
quite overweight. Just that dude with my face on him. I don't know if your kids are old enough to remember Tron guy.
I'm sure they know who Tron guy is.
He disappeared. Like
Don't worry about Tron Gate. Just focus on Tron.
Tron. Focus on Tron.
Look up Tron guy. He's got to still be a thing, right?
Yeah, so they don't know who Tron guy is.
They will now.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this guy. This guy's a legend.
Absolute living legend.
He has a Wikipedia
That
page.
dude.
Hey, John, did you know we have a Wikipedia page?
What?
Who has a Wikipedia page?
PHP Architect has a Wikipedia page.
Why does Trongate have a Hall of Fame with like 100 people on here?
What?
Can I just put my name on here? Is that how this
You-
works?
Yes.
What is the founding
How do I get
member?
added?
Oh, what is with this? What is this? What is with these medallions? What are these things?
It's the 110 people who use Trongate.
You're a level 1 member? Oh, I remember that guy. Jay Maynard.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Okay. You guys
Jay
make fun of
Maynard.
me.
The one you just posted in Discord.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, who's not going to remember him? The guy is a legend, like I said. I need to figure out how to change our logo on the Wikipedia page. I can't figure it out. What is this? What is this? Like, why are they in the Hall of Fame? Like, there's nothing to click on. There's no information here.
Yeah,
What?
they have at one point positively mentioned David Connolly. Have
Maybe
you
their
not,
value.
no, have you
What?
not seen his Twitter? Because his Twitter is like
No, I see nothing of this.
his
guy.
Twitter is a mental health diagnosis tool.
See, this is what concerns me about talking about it. Like, I honestly think the guy needs some help, and he plays into that. You know, he starts talking about, oh, everybody thinks I'm crazy, and it's like, no, I mean, I really think you need to talk to somebody. Like, and that's what I don't want to feed into. Wait, what? You see this one, right? Who are these people? I mean, there's just no information. That's what's bugging me. Like, I can't stand this stuff. What does this mean? Our audio podcast.
No, he
listeners
talks
can
about it
hear
on
this.
his. He talks about it on his. No.
What?
I'm talking to your kids.
No?
No. No, you had the right picture. It's the picture from the Wikipedia. I will give you that face. I will give you no other.
I used to love Tron.
Eric, did you change the Wikipedia page? Did
Yes.
you create it?
No, it was already there.
What's NorCal Kid's name?
He doesn't know.
Well, I'll put it to you in Slack. Why?
Sure. Because I'm about to call them the fuck out. So give me the goddamn.
Nah. Well, the
Don't
whole
come
point
and
is
get out, man.
No, I'm not going to use the name.
Okay. That's NorCal Kid there.
That's a
And
puppet.
so,
Oh,
no,
nope. Sorry. Wrong picture.
Yeah. no worries.
NorCal
That's
Kid.
NorCal.
NorCal Kid. I'm going to give you straight up 30 seconds.
Oh, wait. We gotta move us out of the way. Are you gonna do
There we go.
screenshots?
No, I
There you
got
go. Actually, just hold on. Just kill us.
I would love to. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. You can get all the screenshots you want. I'm going to give you like Hollywood pose style. Are you ready?
wait, before you do, can you increase the definition of your camera? Make it a little higher definition, please. All right,
And,
now I'll leave.
And don't forget to take your headphones off.
Yeah, I know. 3, 2, 1, go.
Give us some expression.
That's what
No
you-
expression at all.
Well, I was smiling. I was smiling the whole time. Oh, buttery. That's exactly what I was thinking of. The quick pose.
That's actually perfect. Why didn't you do that?
Thank you.
You got so many. You got like 50 pictures of me, or 100. How many did I take?
You don't know
A
how
lot.
to pose.
I don't know how to pose.
They have all of our canvas.
I was aiming specific. Oh wow, that
Oh,
is a
jeez.
lot.
Look at all those
That's a
screenshots.
lot.
That was awesome. Yeah. That'll be in your nightmares for weeks. That's. This one? There you go.
You wouldn't believe the night I had.
You're right.
Just the whole posing thing. It was a.
How was your trip, by the way, Tom? We didn't really talk about it.
So
Let me pull in show notes while you're doing that.
He went on the trip and then had to come back and take compliance training. So
yeah.
Why am
it's
I
the
not
first time for
surprised?
everything. We went opposite directions with that. I have this anxiety thing when I go to like hotels where I like literally can't get out of bed, can't like get to my phone, can't communicate, and it really sucks. And I end up stuck in my bed for 18 hours.
What?
So that happened on Wednesday.
That's living the dream. What are you talking about? I wish I could stay in bed for 18
Yeah, it
hours.
wasn't. That happened on Wednesday, which is always something I have to like explain to everybody. Is like, sorry, I missed everything. I could not stand up on my own free will. But then, like, the rest of it went really well. I've been double dosing my drugs, so I was very, like, even keel the whole time. But my company does a lot of these social events, and I'm, like, not a social person. So I ended up doing, like, because of the pressure to socialize around me, I ended up doing the most work I had done all week in like a 2-hour period where it was supposed to be a party. Because that's just like the best way I could avoid being at a party. It's very, I mean, I'm glad I'm home. I haven't had any like strong anxiety attacks since I got home.
Oh, that's good.
You know, I mean, I've got a doctor's appointment for next Tuesday where I'm getting like everything checked out, but I have a lot of what's called angina pectoris.
Your vagina what?
Yeah, angina pectoris. I have a lot of stress on my chest muscles for no good reason. And it's like I go to bed and like my chest is really sore and it feels like you're supposed to do something about it, but when you have anxiety attacks, you know you're not supposed to because you just take up people's time. So it's a very annoying disease to have. I don't know. I really haven't been good since I went to the hospital because of Panera. Like, really haven't been good since then. I am too woke. Oh, A-Woods. So, A-Woods. You mentioned use Composer to pull Tron Gate from GitHub and fork it. Something that David Connolly said in his last video was that someone had forked Tron Gate just to make fun of him. which I literally did and totally forgot about.
I remember that.
I can't remember what I called it though. Oh
Whatever the city is you live in.
no, it was
called
yeah.
that.
It was Cardiff Gate or
Do you not have the repo anywhere?
no, I'm
Were you
looking
not
it up.
Were you not committed to this?
No, I have to sign in and it's 2FA. Hold on. I totally when he said someone did that, I nearly lost my mind. 42961. Don't share that with anybody. I think I might have deleted it when I started my new job.
I would not blame you there. Ramsey, you've looked too far into Tron Gate. You've drank the Kool-Aid.
Dude,
I'm not downloading
that
this.
Kool-Aid is bad. All I have is top repositories. Hold on.
Breaking the rules. Wait, is this still the video? This is still the video. We're still on the webpage. It's still our video.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't catch that from? Yeah, we are still 100%.
I
Well,
figured
when we
you'd
were talking
taken
earlier,
this down.
you said used to be.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I must have deleted it.
That's so crazy.
Diego Labs. I have
Labs.
such random shit from you guys. Oh my God! No, I didn't delete it. Briargate is the part of town I live in.
That's it. Yeah, that's what it tells you. It's wherever you live.
Yeah, and
what is it called? Dox yourself. Did you dox yourself?
Briargate. Oh, that's right.
In Colorado Springs. You want to give us a house number?
It's 2 commits ahead. Because I added Composer and Twig and dependency injection. I forked it. I made a commit that included DI container Twig PHP unit dev, and then another commit that added Composer.
Did you open a pull request? Open a pull request.
Please open a pull request.
No, and I called it like the Laravel.
It's open source. You have to contribute back or attempt to.
I called
it's
it the Laravel
legally
of
binding
Tron Gate.
That you have to.
Oh, PSR
Doing some
auto
rough
loading composer
back
packages.
then.
Rewrite culture, certification, and all forms of bureaucracy.
On average, my flight time at Little Black is 7 minutes per flight. I have a lot of 2 and 3 minute flights.
It sounds like
today
you're hiking more than you fly.
I am, but today I had a 34-minute flight. It was awesome.
What's considered like? What would you be happy with, like as an average, if 7 is good?
We're operating on roller coaster rules, aren't we?
I don't know what roller
if I could on average stay up for like 30 to 45 minutes, I would be happy.
Right.
But
I'm barely awake for 10 minutes.
I have people that there was somebody either set or almost set. There's still debate. The record flying from Little Black yesterday, almost 70 miles from Little Black to the San Bernardino Valley.
What?
70
the guy
miles.
The guy just floated for 70 miles.
5.5 hours in the sky.
And that was his objective, right? I mean, he was trying to do that.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Oh. That's nuts.
There's debate, like there's rules around setting records for the club. One, you have to be a club member. You have to, and then there's different ways of measuring because you can do triangles or straight line distance, and it's complicated and I don't really understand it, but it's like he either broke the record or barely broke it. And then if he did, there might be like wasn't a member at the time of doing it, like a member of the club.
It sounds like somebody's trying to. Yeah, it sounds like somebody's trying to void him on a technicality. Am I? No, I'm not playing music anymore. Let's just go EDM.
Are you, Ben? You're fascinated by Tron Gate? Did you see Eric Mann's post on the security issues with it? And he barely started looking at it, and jumps right out at you. I thought about doing the base install and then trying to have a SQL injection attack against it, but I just don't care enough to do that.
That's kind of where I'm at. I'm like, I've already given this guy way too much time, too much attention. I don't need to give him any more.
We're still talking about Troncate?
Yeah.
Andrew,
like, when these guys go on,
it's on purpose.
Yeah, when these guys go cross country, they have drivers following to pick them up.
Oh, I bet. You know what's funny too? I thought about this. Like, if he threatened to take legal actions against us, like, we actually have a law firm now. So, not that I would want to use it, but it's like we don't have to say, I'm going to call my lawyer, because we actually have lawyers now, which is kind of cool.
So, but this is the thing that keeps getting me about him, is that he is repeating American rhetoric.
Oh, he's right out of the Donald Trump playbook.
Right.
That was my reaction.
I was going to say Donald Trump, but I was going to say he's got a lot of American rhetoric. And this was before Donald Trump, when he was like, I'm going to sue you, that's defamation, et cetera, et cetera. And then, like, you look at the laws in where he actually lives, and he's got no standing, or it would require a lawyer who's internationally, like, licensed, that he clearly can't afford, because he was also talking about selling his car for 200 pounds. And, like, but his newest stuff is so American centric.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I'm going to sue you. You don't go to Disneyland. It's woke. And I'm like, oh, you're reading from the wrong book completely. Like, none of this is relevant to Scotland or people who live in Scotland or care about it. Like, you're waving a Confederate flag in a foreign country. It's very weird.
Mm-hmm.
And so, for NorCal Kid, defamation actually in the EU is really, really easy to prove, because all you have to prove is that they don't have solid information. So if you go to court for defamation cases and they don't provide the actual proof, then you win the case. Like, that's it. Rumor does not count. And this was a result of Princess Diana's death. They passed a law that basically made the Daily Mail totally blacklisted unless they had proof for everything they said. But in Scotland, there's jack shit you guys could do. If you guys tried to sue someone in Scotland, a lawyer would just laugh you out of fucking court. Like, a foreign, but he's gone, like, literally, he did this thing about Symphony. You know where they held their company picnic? Disneyland. Woke. And was like, drop the mic. Like I said, drop the mic. And it's the weirdest moment. It's about 2 hours into Eric's reaction video.
But you have to watch the first 2 hours to get to it. Trying to go get that view time.
If I have one day off this week, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do a reaction to Eric's reaction.
I would love that. I would so love that. That would be my favorite thing. I would cherish that.
When
I
you
would cherish it.
The first time you paused it, where you were like, "No, I just gotta say something." I hit the space bar on my computer and I was like, "Well, this is such a classic Eric thing to do. Something to inject right here in the first moment. Let's see what he has to say about it." But yours was so long, I couldn't do it. If I do one, it's going to be like 15 minutes, and it's just going to roast you.
I'm fine with it. Roast the hell out of me.
What an Eric move. This is why we keep John around, because he really keeps Eric in check about these things. Here we go. Nope. All right.
You haven't said anything about the fact that I turned it into a drinking game, which was perfect.
No, I didn't like that.
You're full of it. And please vape the whole time you're doing it too. That would be very helpful.
So, here's where I'm at with this. Clearly, Eric's been listening to Joe Rogan because he's.
I've never heard. I only watched the YouTube clips of him. I've never actually watched one of the shows.
So Eric, this is a classic Eric thing right here to say, I never really did this. I'm not a big Joe Rogan fan. I remember when he was on the Man Show, and it's
the Man Show. He wasn't on the Man Show. He was on the radio one. What was the radio one called? You don't even have your facts right.
Dyslexia. You got it the exact opposite way around.
I don't think so.
Yeah, he was on the Man Show with the guy who did the night show.
No, was he? He might have. At some
Adam
point.
Carolla and Joe Rogan did the Man Show.
No, it was Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew was the late night show on 91X. See, Eric does this a lot, where he gets two things
Eric, I
together.
think you're right.
Thank you, John.
No, he's not right.
He's on news radio.
News radio.
He was on the Man Show. He was on the Man Show too, though.
He was the host of the Man Show.
I love
99 to 2004.
See, here's the thing about it is that John will back up Eric about this anytime he gets to, because John knows when it comes to heavy lifting, it's just Eric's the guy who's going to do it.
Where'd he go?
He dropped the mic.
Hit the wrong button.
Such a Tom thing to do. See, this is what Tom does. He makes some facts and he doesn't know how to use
the space bar. Hit the space bar.
That's what we do. We make reaction videos back and forth, Tom. That's what we.
Cooper, can we look that up? I don't think that's right. Cooper, can we look at that? You're looking at puppy videos. You're a dog. All right. Coming back.
We totally need to do this.
Lagavulin.
Love Lagavulin. Why did you say Lagavulin?
What do you mean? Why did I say Lagavulin? Don't you just randomly blurt out Lagavulin?
Eric's busy editing. He can't pay attention to the Discord.
What?
It's on the screen. Do you not look at Restream? What do you look at when you talk? Like, I look at Restream, so I'm like looking at you guys as we talk.
My Restream is really small because I don't do full screen or anything. I have a small screen. I'm not like you with this massive.
Oh, you should try Rambox.
Dude, I don't know how I feel about Rambox. I'm trying to like it. There are things I like about it, but there are a lot of things I don't like about it. I gotta be honest with you.
So, Rambox is, for me, a learning curve because a lot of things I had pinned.
Better. Come on, Buttery, let's go. Lagavulin. You and me, right now. Let's see who gets drunk first.
Well, first off, Lafrig is a peat moss-based whiskey, whereas Lagavulin is not a peat whiskey. So, go home.
Lagavulin is... I don't even know what that word is. How did you pronounce that?
Lafrig?
Lafrig?
Lafrig.
Sounds like a child drink. Buttery.
Can it swim? Ramsey, I don't know the reference.
He says American whiskey is better than he ducks.
Better.
It's not
Yeah.
Scott.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Not better than
I
ducks.
don't understand. American whiskey's made of
Right.
ducks? Is that the secret?
Most things are better than ducks. They're not as great.
Honestly,
as they might
Ramsey,
not
I want to get on the bourbon bandwagon. I really do want to find a good bourbon that I like. I got a lot of recommendations. And about every bourbon I drink, I like. Like I usually go with the recommendations that people give me. But I don't know. Bourbon tastes a little like candy, I guess. Like
be.
sweet.
Lagavulin is Pete? Hold on. I'm talking to your current wife.
She will know Lagavulin. Don't question her on Lagavulin. So, anyways, Ramsey, somebody told me that. Oh, actually, I think it was Kentucky, not Tennessee. There was like a whiskey row that you could go to and do a bunch of different whiskeys, like how you go to wineries here in California. But I think that was Kentucky. Now that I'm saying it out loud, not Tennessee.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
So my friend is a whiskey guy, and we kind of got on a kick of weird whiskeys, like weird aging processes. Yes. Very close. Excellent. So we
Very
got
hard to read, and that should be 353, not 253.
the head's too big, and yes, it should be 353.
The head is never too big, Tom. That's the thing. That was not a sex joke, by the way. The head, I always tell her to make the heads really large because it's a thumbnail, and that's what you need to be able to see.
Okay, so you have not been following YouTube algorithm trends because the big head is no longer the signature it used to be.
Tom, before you continue talking, do you want to do it? Don't tell me how to do it.
Do what?
Unless you're willing to do it. The thumbnails in the posting to YouTube.
I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to your child. Also, no.
This is a new one. I've always had that one.
So,
Oh, it's too small.
so
What?
we've got this thing for weird rapid aging whiskeys,
Yeah,
which is like high altitude, or on a boat, or on a river, or underwater.
current wife. I think Toast needs a potty break.
So I'm working on the ultimate fast age whiskey, which is underwater in a boat with low oxygen content. And what was the
Ramsey, what's your recommendation for a spicy rye? Because I normally go with Bullet.
That's what I do a lot. Bullet. What's Ramsey recommending?
He just said get a spicy rye, so I was wondering what a spicy rye would be.
Yeah, the Bullet's what I've been putting into my old fashions lately.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
So I'm a big fan of Tin Cup right now.
That was a weird movie.
It's a very smooth whiskey.
Oh, I thought you were really into Kevin Costner.
I mean, I am, but that's a different story. If I were to say, like, yeah, my favorite whiskey's Bagger Vance, that'd be a different story. It's also a golf movie.
All right, we
Legend.
need to
Will
stop
Smith,
streaming.
right?
I need video. I need audio tracks.
All right. Thanks for hanging out with us, everyone.
Everybody, thanks for hanging out. We are going to be wrapping this up. Bye.